So I got a pneumatic brake bleeder, so instead of trying to pump it and pump it and pump it, but I do get a little bit out. Gentleman on YouTube told me about there's a rear master cylinder too, so because I was filling up just the top one up there, and it looks like down here there's a rear one, so I'm gonna have to open that one up and find out if that one's empty, because obviously I've been sucking out fluid through here and I'm not really getting too much out anymore. I'm kind of just getting little fizzles of fluid out. So, and my top one up there is full, so let me check to see if my bottom one down here is full. All right, got the back master cylinder cap off. There is fluid in there. I guess thank God it's not completely empty. It's got these little tiny cap screws, and if you can see, there you go. Yep, you can get a screwdriver, angled screwdriver, maybe pretty much one of those 90-degree screwdrivers on this front one, but that back one you're never going to get a screwdriver onto it, or a socket, so you have to make sure you use a little wrench. It is a standard wrench, it wasn't metric, so it is a 1/4 inch wrench, so you can get a little 1/4 inch wrench off the back side and be able to pop the cap off. And it looks like there's fluid in there, but if you see, it's kind of like brownish. So I really think they put different brake fluid in it, because my brake fluid does say .5 on there, and .5 is purple. And mine is not purple. I don't know if it gets old and it changes colors to brown, but so I'm having to pull it all out. That could be a problem why I am having problems getting it through, because it's being mixed and it's gelling up. All right, this is the most awesome brake bleeder. Well, literally 2 seconds, sucked it all out of the master cylinder back there. I didn't have to like pump nothing, siphon it, just stick the little nozzle in it, push the lever, and it sucks right out, like 2 seconds. All right, playing around on and off throughout the day. I think I'm halfway there now. So I completely drained the rear master cylinder and filled it up with some .5. Went and bled the rear master cylinder, rear brakes right over there, which that came out really nice, fluid, very little air bubbles. But my trailer brakes is hooked to my front master cylinder, so I filled it up a couple times, and using the hydraulic brake bleed, I'm actually able to get more fluid out than I normally would have just using the hand pump. And then I'm able to get fluid out of both. So I'm still getting air bubbles when I pump the brake, but if you remember in the beginning it was really floppy. Now I got a little bit of pressure. So it's not like just like bloop 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 and floppy. I actually got some tension to it. So that means we're getting there. I probably need another bottle of brake fluid and keep going, basically. All right, you see this? It's just pushing it up. Means I don't see no more air bubbles coming up finally. I think I'm there. It's amazing. Just hoping this double banjo will see, but the problem is I think this is leaking. See that right there? Look at that. It's leaking. Oh my God. We finally got it airtight and it's leaking. Right there. We get it pressurized finally, and I guess that can't handle the pressure. We'll see how it works. The next step, because my bike has been here forever in the garage because of me doing my brakes. Yep, I forgot to put it on the battery tender. It's dead. So that means I can't really, well, I can work on the electrical, but I kind of want to see where there's power and where there isn't. Try to get these things hooked up, my taillights hooked up from my trailer. Just because I have that adapter for LED lights, since this is an older bike. And I have all these. I got the load equalizer, and I got the multiple 3-ways here to get everything working on my bike for electrical. So now I got to figure out where I need to hook these into. We'll figure it out. But I need to get my battery charged. Do you hear this? Listen very carefully. Hear that? It's pushing on the caliper. It's working. Oh, I hear it. I think we got it. Now we just gotta get the electrical worked. And hopefully that stays bled and doesn't leak through the bolt or something. So if you remember, this hose got broke and cut and we had to replace it. Well, we put what the book said, how much oil is supposed to go in it, but I think it was a little too much oil because what happened was bike started up, woohoo, we charged our bike, it actually battery's good. And about a couple minutes later, yep, you see all that frothiness? And you see the cap? Well, the cap went from right there to push, right over here. Hit the desk. Well, it hit the desk and then rolled off. And I wiped up some of the oil. It splattered the oil everywhere. It just went boom. Shot it across and dumped all the oil out. Yay, lovely. There's too much oil in it. Time to drain some oil. So now the brake bleeder is now an oil sucker. I'll have to clean it off though after I get it sucked out. So we sucked a lot of the oil out. I mean, maybe being a little overfilled. We sucked out a lot of oil. And cold. Just hoping maybe it was just overfilled and that vent hose isn't messed up. The one I just bought. Let's see if we get a flashlight. See how much I sucked out. Got a flashlight, don't really work. Alright, so yeah. Might need to pull a little bit more out. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, check. There's a little notch on this aftermarket one. It's very hard to see. It's like, it's very blurry. Can't see it. It's not going to focus on it because it's too shiny. But pretty much about halfway up. There's a little like indention in it, so that'd be your high mark. And yeah, it's over that high mark. Just hoping that it's, I mean, the engine oil is still cool. I only had it running for a couple minutes before it blew the cap off. So maybe it's just overfilled. Hopefully it's not that bad line. We're gonna start to try it again. We'll put some rags on it so in case it spits out more oil, I don't have to clean up as much oil on the cart. We're down to like a little bit below that notch on there, so the oil shouldn't have been hot enough to be at the high mark. So because it was literally only running for like a half a second and it went all the way over. All right, we started up, let it run for about 2 minutes. We got it up to almost 100 degrees. Didn't seem to shoot off, so I think we're good. I think it was just overfilled, hopefully. A little bit of smoke came off from the oil burning off of everything that dripped down here. So let it cool off for a bit again, and I need to go figure out the electrical now. Or, well, in a little bit. I got class right now. Okay, so now it's time to figure out this wiring. So I unplugged it from there, from the main box, and this is the main harness coming out of the front. So I had some room, that's why I unplugged it from my ensemble of resistors and everything to have LED lights. But I think if you look really closely, that is not an LED, that's a bulb. So that needs to be plugged in or wired in to the main bike, because the main bike was originally regular bulbs and not LEDs. So that would be this main harness. So we have, let's see, blue, brown, and white. And this white one, it says it's a ground, which in here, here's the main harness. We do have a blue and a brown on this side. There's no solid white for ground, so I'm assuming the black one are the ones if one of them's black, one of them's brown. So one of them, it probably gets connected. We're probably gonna have to connect it to this harness here. So I just gotta make sure, I gotta look in the book and see if that black one's a ground or if there's something else a ground. Because there you go, you got brown, black, and then blue. So I'm assuming those are the wires we're gonna connect them to. Here's my wiring harness in my book. So obviously 2003, all Sportsters. So we're looking, okay, here's a turn signal module, which I'm assuming that's what that white box is right here. That white box right there. And you see all the wires and stuff like that. So this is the one that got connected to the white box. See how there's like a lot of whites and stripes all through there. So, and that's what this says. So you got black, orange, white, brown. I'm assuming that's violet. White, green, white, brown, white, violet, or something like that. So we got, looks like we got the white, green. Oh yeah, white, violet. Oh, I really need some light over here on this. Violet, brown. So okay, so this is the connector. That's this main one right there in that center for the turn signal module. So now the V connector, the one that's over here, let's see what colors. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wires. And there's a orange, white in there. So it looks like that one's too small. So yeah, orange, white, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's more than that in this one. This one might not be it. That might be the connector to the other one. Or maybe there could be more colors and they're just plugs in it. 2, 3. Yeah, there's 4, 5, 6, 7. There's, oh, wrong one. Looking at the wrong one again. Let's see. There's 4, 5 on that side. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8 wires. This one has 12. So that was the original harness, the one that got connected to the turn signal, and there's the Y connector one. It's over on this side. 8. So yeah, orange, white, brown, violet. Oh, there is 2 blacks, 3 blacks. Okay, so it goes blue. Where did the blue go? The blue went to, if you went all the way over, connects down, blue. There's 3. Blue is the headlamp high-low switch in the front, and blue went, and this side went to wherever that went to, another harness on another page. And this blue goes to lights, rear brake, or right brake. I don't know if that's rear or right, or is that, or if that's just red black. That might be red black, because that's a 15 amp goes through a, looks like it goes through a circuit breaker. So a 15 amp breaker, and it goes to, okay, so the, oh, there is the ignition switch. So okay, so yeah, turn the switch, you get power, goes to the amp, and then you get power to the blue light there, or blue wire. Blue still goes through here, and if you get power, that gets power. Red, black. Okay, that's start relay. Okay, yeah. So it's literally just connected to a fuse panel. So it's a fuse panel and the high-low switch. So, and then this brown, that's black, brown, 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 brown. Brown is number 1. Oh yeah, let's go. Blue goes the other way. Blue. Blue goes to 3. Ooh, that's a whole circuit panel thingy. Ooh. Pretty much it goes to my taillights. Somewhere in that line. A mix of stuff. That's not a straight shot through. And brown. Brown, same thing, goes to the shoot off on the back to the lights. Brown, and brown goes this way. So brown connects to, brown goes to another connector up there. It's probably the front or something like that. Turn signal's brown. Brown, 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 goes to 2. Yeah, so goes to another page. All right, well, we'll see how it works out. All right, so I cut the heat shrink wrapping all the way back so I can have room to move with these wires, so I can get to the brown and the blue and one of the blacks. So I can either snip it and then just 3-wire it and tape it up, and then, or well, solder it up, tape it up, twist it, however, and basically have like a lump there with 3 of them. Or I could try to go find those. I think they make the wires where you can clamp 2 wires together and you push on it and the metal clip goes through the wire and it sinks them together. So I wonder if I could find those. Those might be a little bit easier than trying to cut and strip little pieces here and here and then strip the other one and tie it into it. We'll see. Alright, so I did find some of the quick splices over at AutoZone. They're for 18 to 14 gauge. I think our wiring's pretty much 18 gauge. It's like the smallest wiring you can possibly get. So it'll, looks like you take the harness piece, kind of slide it through there, and then the other side, yeah, see it's capped off on that side, and the other one, so the trailer one will stick through the hole there, and then we'll clip it down and push the wire through both of them. So what, cut some more of the sheathing off of this harness for the trailer. I'm gonna feed it through underneath so it's not like resting on the seat where the seat is. So we're gonna kind of feed it up underneath here. And then once we feed it up underneath here, then I'll get the wires and get it crimped onto here. Yay, do you see a light? Woohoo! So, turn the bike on. I got a headlight, yay! We got all my tail lights, they're all working. And that one's working. So yeah, so we just spliced them up. I made the blue one a little too long, but I'm gonna have to tape it up. But yes, we literally just crimped them in there. And they were the right wires, thank God. So let's see. High beams still work. Nothing's catching on fire. And blinkers. So my left blinker's working. That one's still solid. All right, and right blinker, I think. Oh, we don't got the right blinker working. It was working. Oh, wait, hold on. Right blinker was working on that one, so maybe the right blinker doesn't work. That's weird. I thought the right blinker was working on that side. Just freaking out. Make sure it's not like loose or anything. No. I mean, we got a light, it works. It kind of sucks I don't have no brake light or blinker on that side. So if I have it just in run mode, oh, that's weird. So I have it in running mode and it works, but when the bike's fully on, it doesn't work. Yeah, that's weird. So if I have the bike just literally run, but then if I put it all the way over to turn the headlight on, that light comes on, but then my blinkers don't work. I guess it's just the way the function of the bike is, the way I have it set up because of the how it's fed through for the LEDs for those ones and not the LED for that one. I don't care, at least I got a light. Alright, so I individually tape them just so they don't come apart. Tape them individually, and then now I'm gonna get it all prettied up and tape it all back together as a harness. Alright, now it looks all pretty. We got all of it, the individual ones taped, and then taped up the heat shrink to the harness part here, where you can see the big bulky parts. That's where all those connectors are. and then taped up this. This is the trailer harness that went into the other harness, the main harness. Now let's see if we can get all this shoved back down in there. Voila! Look, nice compact. I wouldn't be able to fit anything else in there. All right. Well, at least we got lights, even though it's not really functioning how I thought it was going to function. I think that's just because I have the mix of the LED lights and that's a regular light. So, and I had to wire it into the main harness on the front half, which is the regular lights. But if I wired it into like the back half with one of the resistors, I could probably switch it out with a LED, but I ain't going through all that right now. That at least I got a light. Now let's see if I can start my bike up and not have my oil shoot out everywhere again, like all across, because I overfilled it. Choke is on, fuel's good, started it, so I'm letting it run and choke for a little bit because it hasn't really started except for that little bit of starting when when the oil cap blew off of it. So we're going to start it, let it run and heat up and see if the oil cap blows off again. So I'm going to kind of stay out of the way of the right side of the bike, and obviously I have the rags over everything, so if it spews out oil again, it'll just shoot over there. So, but we do have lights everywhere. I'll take the choke off in a little bit because it really hasn't ran in a long time. She was struggling a little bit. I have the choke off now, so struggling a little bit, gagging a little bit. And of course, the safety. Yes, I have a fire extinguisher in my garage. So, luckily not caught on fire with the electrical. And it didn't look like the oil gate or the dipstick like popped out. So, looks like we're at, yeah, like, what is that? 90, 80, about 80 degrees right now. Look, after heated up, when I pop the thing off, look how high it is. So it still is a little bit too much. So I'm gonna have to drain some more of it out. I'm gonna wait until it cools down though a little bit. So yeah, it's just a little bit touch too much. It just before it was like way full and it had nowhere to go but out. All right, so the next project is to get a seat belt in here. So what I was thinking, since really obviously I'm not gonna want to like drill anything into the sides or anything, and I looked, there was like, ooh, if you look underneath, there's like a bar underneath there. I was like, maybe attach it to here and then run it up, but I forgot about taking out the back here. If you take out the back, and I have the side plates here that were fiberglass, so I literally can just put a bolt through there. I had a friend give me a seatbelt, So I got a seatbelt. I can literally do this side. Literally just take one this side and bolt one there, and I can probably just bolt it in and I'd have a seatbelt. And it would still be in. I won't be ruining the integrity of the sides or anything. I won't have to climb underneath the seat somehow and bolt it to that bracket. Voila! Look at that. We got bolted in some extra, a little longer bolts, so just extra bolts I had, but they work. And I got a seatbelt now in there. And with the cushion back in. So that works.